recorded?
Of course. What's up, fucker? No, what did that?
Ranking dildo.
Oh, making sure it's not fucking scratch.
Oh, shut up. You've got screen protector. A little bit on the shallow side, but if it's like a sort of firm and slightly like less grippy day than today, I might take it to this. Otherwise, I like to use like the steep part of Alpine Sun Run, so I'll probably go there. But yeah, what do we know about these intermediate sliding techniques we've got to show? Centered and mobile.
Okay, what does that mean?
It means you're kind of centered in your different axes.
Sure. Yeah. Anyone else want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Just same amount of weight between.
Yeah, equal weight, equal bend.
Yeah.
And the other axis would be like on top of the board, right? So not too tippy. Yeah. Anything else?
Turning with the lower half. Turning with the lower half, bottom
Turning
half.
with the lower body, for sure. So yeah, hips, knees, and feet, creating the rotational movement rather than the upper body. What does that mean? Cool. Yeah, like stacking your body weight, right? Cool. All right. How much travel across the hill can you do? Yeah, I think that's about right. I was hoping somebody would say that because I had it in my mind. I wasn't quite sure if I was correct. Yeah, it sounds about right. 6 to 10 meters, so like, I don't know, 75% of the width of this from trees to trees, I guess, something like that. And then what about our turn shape? Hey? Yeah, symmetrical is the word I'd probably use. Same with the speed, constant speed. Anyone else want to add anything to that?
Changing the edge, last 75%.
Yeah, like, at least, like as the board starts to point down the hill, sure, Kieran?
So you need to show after your turn that you slide a little bit instead of having like a carve.
So yeah, definitely doesn't want to be a pencil line. I would say like the sliding moment, if your turn shape wants to be like a crescent moon. So it wants to be fat in the middle and skinny at each end. Hopefully I can show you something like that. That's all do them down here. I'm going to write down the slow side. I'll give you a wave when you come down. Obviously, we've seen a bunch of people gunning it down here, so if you see somebody straight lining, just stop. Don't try and like fit your turning around them. Just like stop and let them go past. No points deducted for being safe. So yeah, it should look something like this. Come like once one person has done 2 or 3 turns, the next person can just drop in. And I'll try and give everyone a little bit of
Do you want to go next to me? When are we meant to turn?
Yeah.
So he said use 75%, so I would turn at the trees on the right and then just use 75% of the left.
I was wondering when we're going down before.
You want to turn your edge before the fall line.
Down here, let's do some turns. I'd like you to tell me how you move your body to get your edge to grip when you're turning. Let's go about halfway down disgusting. Oh, we're good.
From my foot.
Still got bogies hanging out my nose?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
I'm joking, I'm joking.
You're making me self-conscious. Oh, okay. when we want to make our toe edge grip, what do we do?
Forward.
Yeah.
I don't know if I do that every time, but I know I'm meant to do that.
Okay, good to know.
I sort of bring myself a little bit lower down to put more weight on that edge.
Okay. Anyone else got any thoughts?
Pivot, edge, pressure.
That is how we do a turn, but that's not how we get edge grip. That's just
And
the
then
sequence of a turn.
we
When you're getting the edge and the pressure, what do you do?
We're vertically moving towards the board, or
Sure.
towards the edge you're on,
How do we do that? Bending.
bending the knees.
What do we do with our feet? What part of your foot are you standing?
Balls of your feet.
Cool. And are we pressing down with our toes?
Depends on what edge you're
You're
on.
not. You're not, for sure. What about on the toe edge? Are we pressing down with our toes?
Yeah.
Or relaxing the ankles.
Ah, okay. So this is kind of what I'm getting at. So I see some of you guys, not so much you, Alex, not so much you, Iggy. A little bit.
I'm Iggy. That's
Sorry, Iggy. Just
Josie.
Josie. Sorry, I'm going to get that wrong a few times, but I've got it in my head now. You're Iggy for some reason. Iggy, Josie. A little bit Iggy. A little bit you guys. A little bit yourself, Kieran. Looks like when you're on your toe edge, you are like gently pushing down with your toes to create that edge grip. And what happens when we do that, you were saying you're struggling to get the board to like pivot and skid through the toe side turn.
Yeah.
If we press down with the toes, it's quite hard to get the board to like slide around the corner. It tends to want to carve. But beyond that, what also happens is when I press down with my toes, it forces my hips back into the middle of the snowboard, because if I push my hips forwards and push my toes down at the same time, I tend to like fall forwards. So it's like a counterbalancing. So we're going to try down here. We're going to try some hops across the hill, and I'd like you to try just on the toe edge. We're going to do some hopping, and what I'd like you to try is try landing by pressing down with your toes to create edge grip, and then do a turn and come back and try some more hops across the hill. Instead of pressing down with your toes, fully relax the ankle onto the balls of your feet and see if you can push your shins into the front of your boots to create edge grip instead. One of them is probably going to feel pretty sketchy, and one of them should feel like a soft, floaty platform that you can grip with. Is that making sense for everyone?
So relaxing the ankles so that the ankles are up.
So what you're ideally, if this is my foot, when I'm balancing, if I'm doing this, pressing down with my toes to create grip, it's like a very intuitive way to create grip, right? Because it's like, it feels like you're coring your feet into the snow.
Yeah.
But what happens is, big toe is a very small platform to balance on, and having a rigid ankle makes it quite hard to stay balanced. It's like doing a bit of like a Michael Jackson pose. If instead you can think about relaxing the ankle onto the ball of the foot, which is a much bigger surface area, and then using your shins to manage that edge control, it's going to give you a bigger piece of snowboard to stand on, so it's going to be easier to stay balanced. But also, having the ankle soft gives you some natural suspension under your feet, so if you hit some chop, you're going to eat it up. And it's not to say that we can't push down with our toes sometimes, but if we have them pushed down all the time, then there's nowhere else to move, right? So it's like using up all of our range. So I'll show you what I mean. We'll do some like rigid pressing toe down hops and then some soft ankle hops. So some rigid toe hops, look up the hill before you go, go straight.
How did you tell what we're doing?
Yeah,
That's crazy. Why are you looking at my toes? Oh, okay. That looks good.
Oh, bastard.
See how much better that. Wow. Okie dokie.
Luke's put himself first, look.
Huh?
Toes.
That'll make this exercise a lot easier for you then, won't it? I mean, the guy in Dizzy's basically told me that I can't do this.
Why?
Because my feet don't fucking work. Can do.